Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Astrology Victoria. Today, with your host Tatiana, also broadcasting for ANN Archetypal News Network. And today, I will be bringing you the astrology of this week, December the 5th, all the way through December 11th, Sunday. So, let's get into it. Dun dun dun. The energy this time around will be changing quite a bit as the messiness and chaos of last week um, starts getting a little bit more clear and organized. Let's say that would be a major thing with the entry of Mercury in Capricorn on December 6th, so that's tomorrow, and Venus in Capricorn December 9th. So this definitely will help to ground a little bit and focus the energy a little bit, because possibly last weekend, you tell me in the comments below if your week was a little bit all over the freaking place. Well, I can tell you my week was all over the freaking place. And it's interesting because with the energy of transition and chaos and that chaotic energy from last week and into a little bit this week still, where there can be confusion, there's misunderstandings, the brain is not focused. This energy just highlights where there is mess in our lives and it needs to be addressed. The issue with that is not having the capacity to be organized or to say, okay, let's do this way. And this mostly affects people that are not naturally like don't have like a lot of Virgo, let's say, like me, because it can be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but then there's more mess here and confusion there, and then there's frustration. And with frustration comes like lashing out at people, like being short with the words or short with your temper. So, the energy will start getting a little bit more okay. How are we going to achieve those big things? Well, everything seems in transition and messy because of all the mutable energy. And now there's a little bit more of the cardinal energy where we can go, okay, now we do this. We're going to initiate this. And with initiation, I don't mean big initiations. It's more like, let's get to it. Let's get to work instead of like, ah. So there's another thing this week, which is the full moon in Gemini. And this will be, again, that kind of shift in energy with Venus and Mercury entering Capricorn, as the full moon sees the first seeds of our intentions of the new moon in Sagittarius, where if you did not watch that video, go back and watch it, because I really spoke about how this particular new moon was a big leap into being able to dream your life really the way your being wants it. And now we're starting to see how that can be accomplished as the energy of Capricorn comes in. And because we have had that trine of Saturn to Mars, there's like this, come on, slow down. You don't need to do it so fast, just slow and steady, get to it. Even though it can feel a little bit frustrating because Mars is retrograde, Mars is trining Saturn. It's like, but I want to do it now. I want everything now. And the energy is saying, no, it's saying, get organized. Look at all this mess. Can you get to that? Look what you have not tended to, or look what you left, you know, not done for a while. And then it asks us to get like your ducks all lined up in a row. So when the new energy of actual initiation, and when Mars goes direct next year, there's gonna be now, okay, now let's get to it. Now it's the time for planning and strategizing how to realistically get to our goals. So let's look at the charts. And so this week, something that comes in is this opposition of Sun to Mars, where there could be some combativeness or some combative energy. Again, it could be due to frustration. So we might be short tempered and quick to anger or frustrated and then lash out on others. Um, so I would say a suggestion this week is to take those big breaths when you feel overwhelmed or frustrated for any reason, and don't make it about others. Work on your own capacity to self-regulate. And that way you're not like being combative or competitive or even short-tempered. And that could be a very good thing, is to take the energy of of this like boiling energy inside and use it in a creative way, or use it to do something that exerts physical energy. It could be moving things around, it could be doing some sports, things like that, so that the energy that's pent up doesn't get all in the mind and then lashes out on people. So this is kind of what I suggest. Yeah, do some like use this energy for physicality. Then that releases it a lot and you can get a lot done. Like I know in my case, what I've been doing last week where the mess started appearing is we started taking everything out of all the shelves and cupboards, and we're moving things around in the house like everywhere, so you can imagine the mess. Like things are all over the place. And things I from my move that I moved 6 months ago that I had not moved yet that were in boxes, well, those boxes came down and explosion. And now it's like, oh, I see. When the energy shows you transition, mutability, mess, things that you need to rearrange and organize in order to move forward easier, then you have to do it. Well, you don't have to, but if you do, and you discipline yourself, and that's where the energy of Mars Saturn comes in, then you can accomplish a lot and you will be super satisfied. The difficulty is mostly for people that don't have natally a lot of disciplined energy, like a lot of like Saturnian influences, or even Virgo with the capacity to analyze and organize and the desire. If you're a very fiery person or very mental, this can be like a very overwhelming period. And in this case, then appeal to your capacity to self discipline and to just do it. Or call your friends that have already in their being that capacity, like your Virgo friends, who will help you sort out the mess. So that is one thing. We're still with this energy of Sagittarius very active at the beginning of the week, as Mercury and Virgo are still in Sagittarius. So you might still feel this messiness, confusion, and because, and I'm going to give you a little advice as well, because of the square to the Neptune Jupiter, we might still be prone to illusions and things that are maybe too good to be true, that or too much big ideas that are not really realistic, and then you end up a little bit disappointed. So this week that's still active, so I would say stay a little bit more do more your reality checks. Let's look at the full moon. So here is the full moon where Mercury will have already entered in Capricorn. So this is where the mind can start being a little bit more organized. And the beautiful thing about the square to Jupiter Neptune with Mercury is, yes, there could be all this confusion and desire to even evade reality and just go into Fantasylandia. However, when we use this energy to tap into self and spirit, not to be like doing wishful thinking all day like this, and daydreaming that goes nowhere, but you tune into your being to understand what is it that your being really truly wants. This energy can be very well used. This is why at this time, meditation and anything that can help you center the energy or ground the energy, like bare feet walking or salt baths, are very grounding as well. They kind of release excess energy in your energy field. Doing breathing exercises like slow breathing, where you breathe in and then you hold and then you breathe out. Those exercises are extremely grounding for the energy, because this energy of dispersion, and especially having people maybe telling you things here and there, or many things to do, like the unending to-do list that you're like, I can't get to it. And that creates more chaos and confusion in the mind. Well, these little 2 minute things that you can do every day are a lifesaver with this chaotic energy. And like I said, the full moon is going to have this tension between the desire to act and do, and maybe some frustration, and things that you wanted to do don't get accomplished. So, ah. Or it could also be prone to a lot of dispersion or disputes as well over trivial things. Sometimes it could be just trivial. Um, so ideally, if it's not really important, it's not worth giving it any energy. Put that energy instead in something constructive, let's say. Um, what are we gonna have here in the few next days? Oh, yes. What is this about? I'll tell you what this is about. This is where Venus will be squaring Jupiter again, Jupiter and Neptune. And what happens with Venus, Jupiter? It's a little bit of a tendency to overindulge. Is the tendency to think that, I can be lazy and spend a lot of money. You don't necessarily are tracking where your money's going, and you end up, with your Christmas shopping and spending a lot of money, and you don't even know if you have that money. You like blow up your credit cards. And so this week, I would say, honestly, hold off a little bit with your Christmas shopping. If you're like an early Christmas shopper, I would say wait until next week to do your shopping, when the Venus and Mercury in Capricorn, and you can be a little bit more like realistic about how you can spend and what you want to give, and how you can, yeah, what you want to give, if it's and if it's in alignment with your real finances and your real capacity. Because with this scattered energy and confusing energy, you go out shopping, you buy the things that you're like, oh, sure, it's on the credit card and I can buy this really expensive thing. Or you go on to all those, like, corporate Christmas parties. I was at one this weekend. And then there's all these food and drinking, and you're like, yeah, overindulging. And then you don't pay attention to your body and to your health. So this is kind of a little bit of what could happen when the transit passes. That's the aftermath. You're like, okay, you don't know how to pay the credit card, and then you're like, you put on 10 pounds, and you're like, oh no, what? I gotta go to the gym. I was not careful. So I know this is kind of on the funny, light, fluffy side of this transit, but it is there, right? So this is a call to being mindful, and the best thing you can do is temperance with these transits. Temperance, reality checks, periodic reality checks. If you're going on your Christmas shopping, before just blowing up your credit card, go and say, well, do I really want this? Do I win? Is this what they really need? Is this what I want to offer? Can I really afford this, or it's putting too much pressure on my budget? So actually, you could organize and make a little budget for your spending this week. And I say Christmas just because this is a holiday where, there is, well, we all know what it is. People give gifts and spend a lot of money, whether or not we agree with this holiday, or its meaning or deeper meaning. That's not the what I'm discussing here. I'm just discussing the fact that it's a reality that there's so much out there, and you can still be like bewildered by all the deals, like Black Friday deals and things like that, and then overspending, overindulging. So reel it in. I say wait a week, literally wait a week if you can, where your mind will be more settled. Um, and now what happens then towards the end of the week, then we have Venus finally entering Capricorn, and now things can seem a little bit more grounded, more feasible. There is a, a capacity to see where we're going and how to do it. So you see the Capricorn energy, it's the Capricorn is the mythical beast that comes from the water and rises all the way to the top of the mountain. By its slow and steady and determined pace, that's the Capricorn. It's the determination to achieve goals. It can be felt as cold. It can be felt as a little bit dry and lacking fun and emotion a little bit. It's definitely not the Sagittarius Gemini. You see the shift of that energy slightly. Once we have all this woohoo, party, fun, comes the Capricorn. And Capricorn is that energy of the diligence, to be diligent, to have integrity and honesty and achieve goals and be grounded in reality. It's ruled by Saturn. So as this energy of the Venus and the Mercury enters Capricorn, we might feel that finally, like when you roll up your sleeves and when you understand the importance of what you're doing, the actions you're taking, the importance of getting those structures really in place, the importance of what it means to put in that extra labor. And it's not so much fun, but then you will see later on the rewards, the immense rewards, which is usually what Saturn gives. And in the Capricorn energy, it's the rewards of feeling that you are accomplishing things, because the energy of accomplishing goals is very much Capricornian. It's that desire that gets manifest. So when the Sagittarius energy came in and the new moon in Sagittarius came in, it's like, oh my gosh, I want this, I want that, this, that. Now the Capricorn energy is the portal to getting that done and accomplished. So the thing is, like, right now we're a little bit in holiday period. And so there could be, again, this tendency to not want to do stuff just because we're still kind of like, whatever. So take maybe a part of your day to do those things that require your attention and take advantage of this energy. And then take a part of your day to, have some fun and still indulge and, go see friends and do your Christmas shopping, but with moderation. And I think moderation will help you get a long way through this period of potential mess. Well, this is kind of basically what I wanted to talk about this week. Basically, this is it. So not much more. There's always so much more to talk about, but these are the main points that I wanted to highlight so that you can take some actions in your life that will be more productive, less destructive, and stay away from anything that will be um, like substances, too much alcohol, things like that at this moment in time where you could be like, woo, losing your mind a little bit. Not great at this time. If you want to lose your mind, lose yourself in meditation, lose yourself in self-inquiry, and that will yield excellent results. But you do whatever you want. I'm just saying. So with this, I'm going to leave you, and please feel free to share this video if you like it, subscribe. Also check out ANN, Archetypal News Network, with amazing videos every week by fabulous astrologers. And of course, a big shout out to Ren Butler and James Moran for having me invited to their channel, which is also amazing privilege. And yeah, so I'm like hoping to read your comments, see how you have been feeling these past weeks, from the chaos to the, and then what happens this week for you if you feel more grounded and if you're able to start accomplishing things little by little. I would love to know how your life is moving, and that's where I leave you. So many blessings. Do your little breathing exercises and your centering, and you'll be golden. Bye.